And I give a simple warning here. Those of you who have relatives, help me right. Those who have relatives who are generals, colonels, commissioners, please don't waste your time calling them. Just apply and submit. It is your application that is going to talk for you. Because if you miss to submit your application, then you will not be shortlisted. And this application should include what? 3 photocopies of certificates or result slips, 3 photocopies of the national ID, 3 photocopies of the recent passport size photographs, and 4 a letter of recommendation from LC1 chairperson of the applicant's village endorsed by LC1 and LC3 chairpersons of the district of origin. This one should even have been analyzed. Only shortlisted candidates will be contacted for interviews with dates to be announced. Successful applicants will complete a 9-month basic course at the prison's training course with appointment confirmed upon completion. All stages of the recruitment process are free. This one I repeat. All the recruitment processes are free. No money is needed. If anybody asks money for you, you know you are dealing with buffet, conmen. Only conmen are asking money for this exercise. And forged papers, NASA, they are not acceptable. Actually, when we get them, if you are not lucky, we shall send the police to answer. Because forgery is a case against the penal code. Finally, there have been a lot of speculation about hunger strikes in prison. I want to tell the public that we do not have a single person on a hunger strike in prisons. Those who are speculating, I think they want to climb on some people's clout, but we don't have anybody on a hunger strike. And the situation is very normal. Thank you very much. Any questions? I go to Uganda. Olwaleero ekitongole ky'amakomera kirina abasibe abasalire emitwalo 4,823. Abakyaleeremba n'emisango bali emitwalo 3,765. Ab'amabanja bali 5,807. Omugate emitwalo 7,975. Abasirikale ababakuuma bali 1,400. Ekitongole ky'amakomera kigabanyizibwamu regions 19. Olwaleero ndi wano kuwulira eggwanga nti ekitongole eky'amakomera kyetaaga abakozi abawera 402, naye abakozi bano tuzaawo abo abamaze emirimu gyabwe, oba Katonda yabayise, oba emyaka giweze, oba abatuddukako, kuba tujuza enamba y'abasirikale betwetaaga. Kyova olaba enamba ntono bali 402. N'olwekyo abantu betwetaaga be bano. Olina okubeera Munnayuganda myaka 18 butasuka myaka 3. Emyaka gino tujja gikakasa nga tutudde ku nnangamuntu yo. So bw'oba ojja jangu n'ennangamuntu yo. Bw'oba tolina bw'oba owandiika ojja kuteerako ennangamuntu. Bw'oba togitaddeeko kitegeeza application si ntuufu. Kyakubiri nti ffe tunoonya abaamala siniya ey'okuna, abapya n'abakadde. Abapya tutambulira ku grade B and C, B, C and D. B and C zirina kubeera mu Luzungu, D mu kubala. Naye omugate twetaaga credits 4. System enkadde era twetaaga credits 4 ng'emu erina okuba nti eva mu Luzungu. Mu kubala tukyasobola kubanga tukkiriza ng'olina pass. Tusaba bw'oba okimanyi nti olina diploma, bw'oba okimanyi nti olina degree, guno omulimu si gugwo, guno omulimu gw'abasini yakuna. Tunoonya bakisaati abakwata emundu si bamaneja. So tuyambe kuumako ekiseera ekikyo kigenda kujja tukuwa omulimu ogukusaana. N'ekirala nti olina kuba nti olina amaanyi agasobola training. Bw'oba nti omanyi olina ebirwadde ebyenjawulo, please towetaawaanya, kubanga training yaffe si ya kuzanya. Totwononera biseera ate n'otuuka eri n'olemererwa n'okomawo ng'ate omaze kwononera naawe ebiseera byo. Kyakubiri, twagala ba mpisa nnungi. Bw'oba okimanyi nti waasibwako, please ewaffe tojja, kubanga constitution semateeka tekkiriza. Tuyita mitendera ki nti stage esooka bw'oba oyagala omulimu guno ojja kuwandiika application ku mukono gwe totayipinga, omala ogiwandiika ogisindika ewa secretary prisons council. Application eno bw'oba omaze ogiwandiika, kubanga ffe tulikulutinga mu ggwanga lyonna, noonya ekkomera ebikuli kumpi gy'oba otwala application yo. Bw'oba tosobodde kutuuka ku kkomera, genda ku region ziri 19, tulina regions 19, wona wona osobola kuba nti otuuka mu bwangu, teekayo application yo. Ate mu butasukka nnaku z'omwezi 14 omwezi guno gwa Maachi 2025, application yo erina okututuukirira butasusa nnaku z'omwezi 14 omwezi guno 2025. Bwe bonoolowooza nti ojja gireeta 15 ejja kuba yo. So tulina okukwata ennaku zino pa application gye tugyagalirako. Biki by'olina okugyongerezaako? Okuggyako application yo gy'owandiika olina okuba nti ogiteekako kopi 3 eza certificate yo oba result slip yo, biki bye wasoma. Kyokubiri, olina okuteekako photocopy 3 oba kopi enjoke 3 eza national identity card. Toleeta original yo togiteekako, tetugyetaaga kati, ojja kujja nayo ng'oze mu interview. Ekyokusatu, twetaaga obufaananyi bwo bwe wakakubisa obusatu nabwo bulina okuba nga buli ku application eno. Mpozi n'ekirala, olina okufuna ebbaluwa okuva ewa LC1 chairman ng'erimu stamp, ne LC2 oba LC2 ne LC3 nga bonna bataddemu stamp kukakasa nti bakumanyi ova mu kitundu. Kubanga bwe tuba tugaba emirimu gino tugigaba kusinziira ku districts, buli district eyo erina okuba nga efunako. So stamp zino ze tusaba ze tugenderako. Ate tulina okitegeera nti yadde otaddeyo application oba olina okuteekako of course n'essimu yo engeri ki gye tunaakusinkanamu. Abanaayitamu abanaasunsulwamu be tujja okuyita. Bwe togamba nti nateekayo application bagambye interview zijja nja kugenda nkole interview, no. Twagala tusunsulemu abalina ebisaanizo abo be tujja okukozesa interviews bokka. Ekikulu ennyo nti bw'omala kuyita ku interview zaffe olina okukkiriza kugenda ku training etali wansi wa myezi 9. Olina okwetegeka obwongo bwo n'omanya nti ozze kusooka ku training bwa kuva mu busivilian n'ofuuka omusurikale. Nti n'ekirala, mu bintu byonna ebikolebwa anaakusaba ssente oba bw'onaawaayo ssente manya nti byokola bifu okolagana n'abafere, kubanga gino mirimu gya gavumenti, mirimu gya bwereere gya bannayuganda, buli omu akkirizibwa kuba nti yeetabamu n'akola interview n'ayita n'afuna omulimu ng'abalala bwe tukola. Tusaba era nakulabula tutaddeko nti bw'oba onooleeta ebipapula by'ebijingirire tujja kuwaayo mu mikono gya poliisi kubanga obwe bubeera bubbi. So tuyambe, totuwa bipapula ebijingirire, tebijja tuyamba. N'akasembayo ezino envuuvuumu ezeetooloola nti waliwo abasibe abalala abaganye emmere nga retired bwe yakola, si bituufu. Mu makomera gonna mu Uganda teri musibe ali ku hunger strike. Mwebale nnyo okumpuliriza. Ndowooza tewali bubuuzo.
Good morning, officers in our midst. Good morning, the Fourth Estate. Good morning to all of you out there watching us and those listening to us. Today is a special day. It coincides with a number of things. First and foremost, I would like to notify all of you that today all the PROs of Uganda Police Force within the vast regions of the country are here. We are supposed to meet and have an interaction as the Force Press Unit. So, considering that coincidence, we made sure that they attend this maiden Monday presser or press briefing. Our PROs, you can just wave, those you see there. I think in the interest of time, I may not introduce you so that we run through. But all the PROs, we have 29 regions in Uganda Police Force. We also have PROs of certain directorates like traffic. They are all here. So PROs, you are welcome. Now let me proceed with our briefing. This Monday briefing usually gives the state of security and operational incidents in the country. I would like to begin with what featured in the Daily Monitor. Daily Monitor is one of our media partners, but there is a story you ran that we felt we were not very comfortable with. We felt it amounted to a distortion, and a distortion on things we came out publicly and gave out to the public. Then we reserved a day when the directors went and again elaborated on the same. That is the annual crime report. So they made an allegation that the statistics in the Police Annual Crime Report 2024 showed violent crimes such as homicides and rape reducing. So they insinuated that we gave a false narrative, whereas not, that they were reducing, whereas it is not true. They made a number of allegations. So we said, no, let me put the record straight. We even imagined, did the writer read this report or he had a premeditated position? Because the police annual crime report indicates very clearly that a total of 4,329 cases of homicide were reported for the end of the year 2024, compared to 4,248 in 2023. And the report is very clear that there was a rise by 1.9% in homicides. Now the reporter now does the reverse. Intentions unknown. He goes to robberies. He again somersaults the record. And he gives an insinuation of a record standing on its head. Again, we were on the record that a total of 8,163 cases of robberies were reported in 2024, compared to 7,772 in 2023. And we clearly indicated that there was an increase by 5%. He does the same also with rape. So we felt really sometimes we really need to come out a bit responsibly while reporting. I can still give you, the record is very clear. The statistics of rape in our crime report, which we put even on the websites, it is clearly out in the public domain, reflects what we said. We said it increased by 5.7%. The reporter did not end there. Then he said that we did not. Actually, let me say this. In his presentation, he gave an impression that we were asserting that no suicide cases took place in 2024. When you read the text, he tries to bring out a picture that we are saying no suicide occurred in 2024. Our policy prohibits including incidents not legally classified as crimes in official crime reports. To report suicides in a crime report would be a contradiction in terms, given that Ugandan law does not recognize suicide as an offense. We cannot wake up and include things which clearly in the law are not offenses, and we classify them as offenses. Suicide, I make it and repeat it here, suicide is not an offense. Suicide is an occurrence. What is an offense can be attempted suicide. Whom do you prosecute in suicide? So sometimes, let's consult. If you want us to include them as occurrences, then say it, other than insinuating that we deliberately avoided. Because when you read the entire text, the writer tries to create an impression that we are trying to give a rosy picture. Why? Why would we do that? Why would we do that? And then contradict ourselves by putting the records as annexures at the back of the report, reflecting districts, reflecting jurisdictional areas where these statistics emanate from. Then, of course, to substantiate the story, starts quoting anonymous sources of some commanders who don't want to be mentioned, some this, some that. Crime statistics are not estimates, they are not corridor talk. They reflect actual incidents officially recorded by the police. The Uganda Police Force utilizes comprehensive crime records management system extending from local police posts to CID headquarters. There is a well-defined and traceable manner in which our record moves from the lowest administrative unit of police to CID headquarters before we make the final compilation of this information. This ensures that all crime records from the lowest levels are captured through the entire data capture process, enabling accurate generation of police reports. So, what we want to say is that such reports are usually very discomforting because they are baseless, exaggerated, and at the end of the day, they discredit, unfairly discredit the image of institutions. So we still call upon reporters to be responsible. You do not exaggerate things just for the sake and for personal gain. So this is the message I wanted to put forward today, so that we put the record straight, that whoever is interested in what exactly transpired in our crime report, go to our website, you will find it there, read it, analyze it well, rather than making wild speculations. You see, by this, it shows that this district never reported any case. No, please, we cannot use those type of estimations. We go by the record that was given, that the entries that were made at police stations. We are not going to get village quarrels and we turn them into crimes. There are so many things which at times come to police but end up not entering into the police record. Why? Because when analyzed, they end up depicting no offense. So we wanted to put this record clear. Thank you very much on that one. The other issue, like I earlier said, that we give you a state of operational incidents, but we also share pieces of advice in lieu of certain observations we make which affect the security and safety of the wananchi. You recall that on 5th March, we registered a very terrible fire at Sunrise Hotel, just in Kampala CBD, downtown. Our officers from Kampala Metropolitan meticulously gave you an update on the details and how the rescue exercise went on. But there are certain critical issues as Uganda Police Force we wish to re-echo and reiterate. These are not new issues. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned them in a press briefing. I will not tire re-echoing the same, and based on the experience we went through at that incident. Earlier, I talked about the availability of emergency fire equipment. Now, that hotel had a non-functional hydrant. Let me be clear and on the record. Because I talked to our firefighters, I asked them, what is your assessment of that hotel's capability to fight fire? Did it have that capability? No, it did not. I don't know at a given time we are going to retrieve the clips when I've been making these communications. I mentioned it, I think I mentioned it at that time when students were resuming school this term. I said we shall be here and we shall still find people reneging on the same advice we gave them. They were operating a business below the hotel because the hotel was in the upper floors. Now the business was dealing in chemicals which are highly or potentially flammable, highly flammable. And now our team is assessing the fire fighting capability of the structure. The water hydrant cannot even water plants. Because what we are saying is that if you have this equipment with you, by the time police comes, because police does not park near your structure, police does not keep its firefighting equipment in your backyard. At times, you may even have a fire when the same machines are somewhere combating another. There is traffic jam. So you must account for a time lag. So this is what happened. The people became helpless and started climbing to the topmost floors. When our team came, now another problem emerged. Access. There is a certain walkway our teams were sharing with me, where the vehicle should have passed so that they have a very good proximity to the building so as to have their ladders clipped on the building to rescue the people who were in the upper floors. Now that one also became a problem. And that one now comes to the manner in which we construct some of these structures. Now these issues, we shall share them relentlessly. For those who have ears, let them hear. Billions are being lost, lives are being lost. 2 lives were lost in that fire. And the proprietor, I guess, is also registering losses. A fire cannot visit you and you remain the same as a proprietor. And now this business, which was dealing in highly flammable material, when you know that you are running a business of that kind, it becomes even more important than that you devise highly improved firefighting or safety equipment. So that is one of the pieces of advice. Now, I want to share equally on the same, on the fire. Whereas we thank the Wananchi who helped in the rescue process, there are those ones who made it a business to steal and to lift property, taking advantage of the tumultuous situation. Now, we warn you, of course we condemn that act, and if we get you with that stolen property, don't ask questions. So there are those who turned it into a trade or an opportunity to steal. So that one is a warning. As police, we are going to do more engagements with persons who own businesses of this kind. The Director, Fire and Rescue Services, as well as the Commander KMP, intend to do some engagements, especially in the CBD here, to see how we can, in future, mitigate these kind of incidents. Thank you. in respect to that. The other issue I wish to share with you is the Kawempe North by-election. On 13th March, this week, the people or the voters in Kawempe North constituency will go to the ballot to choose their member of parliament following the demise of Honorable Segirinya Mohammed. To ensure a smooth and fair process, all parties, and we re-echo this, are asked to follow the Electoral Commission's guidelines. We also encourage candidates to work closely with the Uganda Police Force. We have designated police officers at the rank of Superintendent of Police at all the 9 parishes in Kawempe North to coordinate security. So we shall be linking these officers to the candidates. Elections are a very challenging exercise. Sometimes they can explode into something. It's understandable. But what is most important is for us to have mechanisms of trying to address these discrepancies whenever they arise. Anything can emerge from anywhere, a spark, and then you have a conflict, and at times that conflict can go violent, occasioning injuries. But it is our prayer that we avoid all this and have a peaceful process, because that's what democracy dictates. So we have designated that. Where situations have not gone well, let's try to see that we correct our mistakes. So that is what I'm sharing. Meanwhile, we also urge people, I know this one is very common, especially in this world of social media, do not announce your own results, because they will not be considered. Wait for the official results from official sources, and that is the Electoral Commission, so that you don't cause unnecessary anxiety. And we shall have a peaceful exercise. Thank you very much on that one. I'd like to share with you as well on an issue of public interest. Over the weekend, there were social media saturations which we monitored of the disappearance and later re-emergence of Mr. Muvawala Charles. So last week on Friday, Mr. Muvawala resurfaced, allegedly after being dumped in Bulisa by his captors. As police, we wish, of course, to come out because we had an interaction with his people when that incident allegedly occurred. On 5th March, his driver, called Mr. Businge, reported the case to Old Kampala police station that Mr. Muvawala had disappeared. So we made an entry. Then we asked him a few things to tell us what exactly happened. He narrated that Mr. Muvawala was having an evening at, and he was using sauna in Happy Boys Bar in Nakulabye. So he called his driver, Businge, at around 10 p.m. So they stayed at that bar up to around 1 a.m. when Mr. Muvawala told the driver that he was going to an ATM to carry out a transaction. After a while, the driver started calling Mr. Muvawala, which calls went unanswered. And that one caused the driver to suspect something was not okay. So he went and made an entry into Old Kampala Police Station. The long and short of it, the story is long, but what I would say is that we interested ourselves into the matter of a disappearance, and the little I can report is that the CCTV footage we have come across shows at one point Mr. Muvawala leaves the bar, then meets some people whom we have not yet identified, and he has a short conversation with them. After that short conversation, he then took a motorcycle. He took a motorcycle, and that is the last time police monitors his movements. So it is on the evening of 7th March when his brother informs police that he has been found in Vulisa, dumped by his captors. When we wanted to re-engage Mr. Businge, the driver, he advised us that for any further details, we should get in touch with the Secretary General of NUP, Mr. Ruvongoya, and the Deputy Spokesperson. Is called who? Who is that Deputy Spokesperson of NUP? Mufumbiro. Mufumbira? Is it Mufumbira? Mufumbiro. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, but our appeal is if he can come along and we carry out investigations, because speculations is that he was tortured, he has torture marks, but the police doors are open to listen to his side of the story, and we see how much we can help. Lastly is our operational updates in the Karamoja sub-region. Our operations, we shall continuously be reminding you that they are going on, and the anti-stock theft unit of police and the UPDF, as well as the Wananchi, are doing a tremendous job. And they carried out a number of activities, and we usually give you these outputs. They recovered one gun from the warriors, recovered the ammunition. One civilian was killed by these warriors, so that is murder. We arrested 21 of the warriors in the course of the week. 53 cattle were reported stolen, but our teams managed to do 45 recoveries of cattle in the course of the week. 47 goats were reported stolen. 47 goats were recovered by our teams. There is usually a verification exercise done. Are they stolen? Are they not stolen? So that verification process was done on 377 cattle and also 1,148 goats. Thank you very much for listening to me. I think I can give you the Uganda version. Njagala kudamu okulamusa mwena abatuwuliriza n'abatulaba n'okulamusa abannamawulire mikwano gyaffe abali wano kubanga tubasiima nnyo bwe mujja ne mutuwa obudde ne mufuna ebintu bye twogera then mwe ne mubitwala mu bawanayinki era tubasiima nnyo mwebale kujja. Kati tuyina leero tuli wano mu tenti yaffe Naguru. Nayise ba PROs baffe ab'omu ggwanga aboogerera police mu regions 29 nga kwotadde traffic, kwotadde Kampala Metropolitan. Onyango ye muba mumulaba buli kaseera tukola naye ne Kananura, naye bonna bali wano era today tuli wamu. So ba PROs baffe just muwubireko ku bantu beebo nga bwe mubalaba. Njagala kutandika ne story eyafulumidde mu lupapula lwa Monitor nga egamba nti poliisi kirabika ebintu bye mwatuwa ku lw'oku bwe twali twanjula annual crime report ey'emisango egibagibaddewo mu mwaka era nga luno twali twanjula omwaka 2024 nti kirabika ebintu mubikwatakwatamu ebivaayo tebirambukirwa bulungi. Kati ne bagezako n'okulaga nti kati nga mu bya murders, rape, ndozwa ne robberies nti twalaga nti emisango gyali gisse naye ng'ekituufu gyali gikoze eki nga ekituufu gyali girinya ate nga kyebo ekituufu ffe twagamba nti emisango gyali girinnye. Bisi olusi waliwo abantu bwe bagenda ne bapapa oli ajja nga already akwetegekedde kati nga ne bw'anaasoma ebirimu tebigenda kubanga kigendererwa kyo already aba amaze okukola ki okukiseetinga. By the way ne keneerabidde okwogera mu luzungu is wali olabirawo nti bali bajja paka tuwandiikako bubi kubanga n'olunaku lwe baafulumya about the crime report bakozesa ekifaananyi ky'omupoliisi eyali ya retiringa nga director wa CID. Omuntu nga yakwetegekedde paka tolina bw'omudduka. Bakozesa ekifaananyi ky'omu ku eyaliko omukulembeze mu poliisi. So sometimes tugezeeko nnyo okulaba nti ne bw'oba gezaako okumaintaininga professional line eyo ate mulina okumanya bino ebintu oba okosa bano for really no good reason then bwe bava ku statistics ezo ate nga twaziwa bulungi nti bw'ogenda mu kitabo kyaffe ekyo ekitabo osobola n'okisanga ku mutimbagano gwa poliisi kubanga twakiteekako. Kiragira ddala nti statistics za homicides kyetuyita homicides oba obusi zaalinya akatundu kamu 1.9%. 1.9% bw'ogerageranya omwaka 2023 n'omwaka 2024. Ne tugamba nti robberies zaalinya obutundu 5% bwogerageranya egy'emyaka ebiri. Then ne tugamba ne rape ne tulaga nti yalinya obutundu 5.7%. Naye ekyo tekyatutaasa paka oli yali ayina kukola ki okuwandiika kye baali bamutumye. Then ne bajja ne bagamba poliisi yagezaako okulaga ekifaananyi nti teri muntu yeewanika. Okwewanika si weeyo suicide, okwetuga. Kati kankirambike bulungi, suicide si musango. Yali sose ne yeebuuza buli suicide bwebaawo okyajingaani ani wootwala mu kooti. Now ekitabo kya annual crime report owulira n'ekigambo crime kirimu emisango gye baba bazizza. Kati tuyinza kwetumiikiriza ne tuteekamu ekitali misango n'ebintu ebirala bingi ebijja ku police stations okwo, naye tetubiteekamu kubanga biba tebiri misango. So mujja tuyambako ku bantu ng'abo, naye tujja kwogera nabo kubanga bantu baffe, ate especially nganze nkolegana nabo buli kaddakiika. So ndooza tujja kugezaako kulaba engeri gye tugonjolamu en reporting eno. Then bakwotinga abasirikale. Ono waliyo omusirikale eyatugambye. Kati oyo yeekweka omubirivinga otya n'ova ku information ffe gye tutadde ku mutimbagano. This time round report eno twagiteekako ne annex, kye bayita annexures ebye twagattako. Annexures ani amanyi Oluganda olungi? Enyongereza eraga nti district eno yeno data gye twajjayo. So naye muntu bw'aba asazeewo anyway tukuleka n'oyogera by'oyagala kubanga we cannot gag your mouth. Naye ogwaffe gwakujjayo amazima. So ekyo mbadde njagala nkiteeke ku record nga bwe kiri. Mwebale nnyo ku ekyo. Ensonga endala mujjukira natuula wano ku police headquarters ng'abaana batandika omusomo nenjogera ku miriro ngambagamba nti emiriro gino abantu balina okugyegendereza because anytime gigwawo. Era nali njogera ku miriro gy'omu masomero nga tugamba nti ndi kwogera ku muliro leero naye kijja kwewunyisa enkya gujja kubaawo nga n'ebintu bye tubadde tusabye abantu bateeke mu nkola tebabikoze. Kati nga 5 March mwalaba omuliro ogwabutukira ekizimbe kye bayita Sunrise Hotel wano mu makati ga Kampala mu CBD. Ne gutamu abantu 2 ne gulumya abantu 24. Twalabula bulungi nnyo naye twagenza okuzuula nga bye twayogerako byennyini tebyakolebwa. Kati ekizimbe kino ekisooka nga bwe twagamba nti poliisi etwala akadde because eyina okuvuga okuva gye beevudde okujja ku scene. Omuliro gutwala eddakiika 4 okutandika okucreatinga havoc. Naye tugenda okutuuka ku scene nga teriyo kuuma kalwanisa ki muliro. Bali balina ka fire hydrant naye nga tekafulumya mazzi. Fire hydrant lwe luno olupiira oluba kati ebizimbe ebyo ebinene bye mulaba byali badde birina emipiira nti omuliro bwe gutandika at least oyina kyotaasako nga ne poliisi bw'ejja okulwana. Fire extinguishers, exit doors enzigi ze basobola okuddukiramu nga waabaddewo obuzibu. Kati bwe twatuuka obuzibu obulala nga hoteri nayo tetulina bwe tugituuka bulungi, olukuubo lwe twali badde tuyitamu okusobola okutuuka ku kizimbe tusobole okukozesa amadaala gaffe nga emmotoka zaffe tezisobola kuyitamu, ate nga abantu bali eri bakuba enduulu waggulu ku kizimbe. So twasazeewo tugenda kuyita abantu bano tulabe engeri gye tu meetingamu abasuubuzi bano ba investors, era director waffe owa Fire and Rescue Afande Tanui ne Kampala Metropolitan Commander bajja kuba batunula mu nsonga eno. Abantu bali kuluzinga sente naye nga message gye tubabuulira ntono nnyo, basobola okukikola ki okuwuliriza. Then tuyina ne baganda baffe twagala okubasiima bawanayinki. Yes, wadde tubasiima okutuyambako mu rescue exercise, naye waliwo abasiiwuuka empisa bo ne bakozesa chance eyo ne bafuuka babayita bakyala kimpadde, thieves, rogues. So abo bo one manya ne tumala tukukwatako ebintu tebiyinza kutambulira bulungi, so tubalabula okukozesa, ate sometimes abalala bagikozesa nga chance mu accidents. Ndoza mwalaba okulunaku olwo abaali banywa emyenge. You can imagine people are burning in a house, for you are stealing alcohol for drinking, and drinking on site with a lot of impatience. So abobo tubalabula. That hooliganism, we shall address it. Then ndoza echocho, so twagala kwogera n'abantu bananyini bizimbe ebyo n'okubakolako inspections ez'amaanyi. Ensonga endala gye njagala okwogerako ye ya Kawempe by elections, nti nga 13 tugenda mu kalulu Kawempe North, oluvannyuma mujjukira eyali omubaka bwe yafa Honorable Segirinya omugenzi. Kati poliisi tubadde tusaba nnyo tulabe nti akalulu ako tukayitamu bulungi. Akalulu nga bwe mukamanyi kabeeramu ebbugumu lingi, olumu ensonga parties zirema okutegeregana, then ogenda okulaba ebikonde byase biki. Luli mwalaba okwemyola wakati wa security ne ekiwayi ekimu ekya gondi ekyaba politicians. Si bwe twaliyagadde ebintu bitambule, era tusazeewo okumakinga sure nti parishes omwenda eziri mu Kawempe North zonna tugenda ziteekako senior officer okulaba nti bwe wabaawo ensonga ezeetaagibwa okugonjoola, oyo officer mu kiti kye nga senior alaba engeri gyakwatagana ne bapoliticians bano okulaba nti elections zitambula bulungi. Twagala n'okubiriza ba candidates okwogera ne ba supporters baabwe okulaba nti bakuuma eddembe. Tugezeeko okulaba nti akalulu kano ennaku ezisigaddeyo zino tukayitamu bulungi. Then ensonga endala gye njagala okusharinga namwe, nga sinaba kugenda kweyo akalulu, tulina omuze ogw'abantu okulangirira. Ekisooka ne bw'olangirira ng'okola mu katale oba ng'oli eyo otudde ku Twitter account, ne bw'olangirira results ezo teri asobola zigoberera kubanga tojja genda omulayize. So tulinde Electoral Commission ekole omulimu gwayo ogw'okulayiza ba candidates abanaakola ki anaaba awangudde. So ensonga endala gye mbadde njagala okusharinga nammwe yeya ku social media ne other media platforms wali wayitingana information ey'omwami omu we bayita Charles Muvawala abula nga 5 then nga 9 n'alabika nga 7 March n'alabika nga bagamba nti bali bamuwambye era nga abamuwamba nti bamusuula buliisa. Nga poliisi twagala record eno tugiteeke straight nti twafuna report eyo nga 5 March nti omwami ono yali abuze. Report yaleetebwa gundi we driver era yajja na reportinga. Driver n'atubuulira nti omwami ono yali mu bbaala emu gye bayita Happy Boys Bar. So driver yamusangawo saawa 4 then ku saawa nga 7 ogw'ekiro n'agamba driver we nti agenda kweyambisa ATM mu kifo ekyo. So driver bwe yalaba ng'obudde buyiseewo ono nga takola ki nga takwata simu kwe kujja otuloopera. Naye maybe mu luzungu kyesitaddemu is that yamala n'asindikira driver we message nti abasajja bankutte oba abasajja oba obusajja whatever. So yasobola okufuna time n'asindikira message driver we, then tugenda okutunula mu CCTV ennaku ezaddako mu kunoonyereza ziraga nga yabuukira bodaboda bwe yamala okwogera n'abasajja abamu be yali nabo bayogerako akadakika katono we baali bayimiridde, then n'ayimiriza bodaboda n'agibuukira awo we twakoma okumufuna mawulire ge twaddako okuwulira nti baali bamuwambye. So naye nga Uganda Police Force engeri gye twawulira nti baali bamutuusizaako ebisago injuries naki aveeyo ajje atuwe more information gye tusobola okutambulirako tulabe engeri gye tusobola okuyambamu okunoonyereza omusango guno. Meanwhile bwe twabuuziza muganda wa driver owa Muvawala bwe twali tutandise naye n'atugamba yabadde aweerebwa nti what do you call guidance alungamizibwa nti information endala yonna tutuukirire ekitebe kya NUP nga tulaba Secretary General Lubongoya ne Mufumbira the deputy spokesperson owa Mufumbiro naye ffe tukyayimiridde ku ekyo nti okunoonyereza tujja kukola bwe tuba nga tufunye obujulizi bwe tusobola okutambulirako. Ekisembayo ye issue ya operations zaffe ze tukola mu Karamoja. Twagala okusiima abasirikale baffe n'amagye ga UPDF abakola omulimu omulungi era ntera okufuna reports zino. Where is our reporter from Karamoja sub-region? Logore yoyo atuwanga updates nti kati nga luno twazuulayo emundu emu okuva mu ba warriors abo betugezaako okugondi okulemesa ne tufunayo n'amasasi, then nabo batayo civilian omu, then twakwatayo ba warriors 21. Then mu operations omwo baripotingayo ente enzibe 53, naffe twaregisteringayo ezo zetwakwata zetwasobola okununula 45, then embuzi enzibe babayo 47, n'ebikwekweto byaffe byasobola okununula 47. Then waliyo zino zetutera okuyisaamu akasengejja, nzibe si nzibe, kyetuyita verification. So ekyo kikolebwa nnyo mu Karamoja. Ezo twakola verification ku ente 377, then embuzi 1,148. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala okumpuliriza. Kale tulinayo ebibuuzo, nja kuddamu ekibuuzo kimu then omulala nga bw'abuuza engeri gye sitagenda kuwandiika. Yes, yogera nnyo abalala bonna bawulire. Kempi, do you have an answer for the Wakiso? Look, do you have an answer? Okay, but you will answer it. Can be discussed within yourselves. Kati chobuziza obuziza ku bapastors. Bapastors abo tuchakola okunonyereza kwaffe. Updates from our officers mbadde sinaba kufuna esembayo kubanga nagamba nti bwe tuli ready tujja kujja tubategeeze naye ate n'okukwatayo tukwateyo okwo abamu. What he asked was about last week we mentioned the issue of feliciting wananchi by people who purport to be traditional healers and pastors. And by the way, let me make the record straight. I think these are not even pastors and traditional healers, because a real pastor is a good person who is doing pastoral services. Traditional healing is a legitimate activity. Even before the white people came here to colonize us and change our entire life and discourse, we were using our own traditional medicine with our healers. Now, these we have are Bafere. And last week, we said they solicit a lot of money, they take land titles, they take, even in some incidents, they even take people's marriages. They destroy marriages. Last week, I received a complainant whom I referred to our investigators who took advantage of our presser and came to my office. Now, these are conmen and women whom at an opportune time we are going to arrest. So, I have not yet been updated on progress by our investigators, but as soon as they are ready, you will see action. Yes. Yes, Ndugu. Kibet. Oh, okay. Kati kankuddemu obuuziza oba anti bagamba abantu beewamba oba babawamba nti ate kisiiga erinnya lyaffe kitusiiga erinnya eribi. Kitusiiga tuki erinnya eribi nga topuruvinze nti yefe abawambye? Waliwo abantu abatusiiga erinnya eribi ne bwe tuba tetuyina kye tukoze. So abo mu bantu abo ekyo abo don't mind about such fellows. Waliwo abantu abamu nga bo bagulirire okumakinga sure nti benoona erinnya lya poliisi. Kati abo tetuyina kwegayirira kwonna kwe tuyinza kukola nti mutuyambe erinnya lyaffe mulikuume. They will spoil the name of the police with or without a just cause. Ku incident ya Nyanzi twawa statement. Yes, mu press anakyogerako na era ne tusaba nti wabaawo kati issue gye twagala wabaawo engeri yonna gy'osobola otuyambamu with information leading to our investigations ogituwa. Nyanzi, I remember you gave a statement about it. Now ekyamuvawala, I've given a statement. Ate ekirala you can see yegwe oyina information eya beewamba tebeewamba. Otherwise fete tunaba kwogera ku kintu ki yeewambye oba teyeewambye. If you are very very observant, nawe tobanga oli eyawandiika ku crime report, because bw'osoma text yange yonna soogeddeeko ku okwewamba kivudde mu kamwako, and surprisingly it will end up in your news. Smuggled. The point is, as a professional person here, ngambye nti tewaliiwo conclusion yonna nti oba omuntu yeewambye oba nedda. Naali kyogedde, if I had wanted naali kyogedde nti yeewambye, naye I cannot say nti Mr. Muvawala yeewamba ate nga siina bujulizi, ate nga I belong to a body ekola conclusions based on an investigation. So let me repeat it in English. I cannot draw conclusions that Mr. Muvawala kidnapped himself when I don't have evidence. It would be extremely unprofessional of me and a total misrepresentation of the position of Uganda Police Force. I have deliberately avoided those insinuations. Actually, it is you who is smuggling them here. Now, the position is that there was an occurrence. I have given the extent of our engagement with Mr. Muvawala, how we interacted with his driver, and how best we can interact with him if we are to arrive at a logical finding in respect to this speculation. So the police position is very clear. I cannot accuse him of what I am not sure of. Neither should police be accused of what we didn't do. If there is evidence that we are the ones who did it, you bring it out. When police makes arrests, we tell whom we have arrested, we tell you where we have taken him, we subject him to an investigation, we take statements from that person. Once we find an iota of an allegation sustainable, we have his file sanctioned and we take him to court. When the court finds that what we are accusing him of does not hold water, they quash our assertions. And we have done this since 1906. That's how police works. Now, so that point, I want to make it very clear. We cannot accuse anybody of having kwewamba. If we ever prove it, we shall say it. Yes, thank you. Kibet. Thank you, Bwana Kibet. The incident which occurred in Kavule and that entire election process is a reflection of how volatile elections can be. Sometimes they can turn into situations like those you saw. Sometimes we need to get to the depth of what went wrong and see how best to fix it. Yes, they have talked about the actions of our officers. Actually, I would prefer we look at the actions of all actors holistically, because there are so many people who behaved in a manner that discomforted the entire process with the objective, or the end state should be in how best we can solve these issues. What I would like to say is that police is not seated over that. We are looking into it, but I know there are high stakes. People have already drawn daggers on this matter. So I will not give you further details beyond that until when we come out with a formal position. Yes, ebyaliwo ekavule nga bwe mumanyi nti elections ziba ziri delicate nnyo. Anytime ekintu kyonna kiba kisobola okukola ki emivuyo elections zo they are very delicate. Era ekyaliwo ekavule kiri regrettable si bwe kyalibadde because twetaaga akalulu akalungi nga teri alumizibwa, si mwanayinki, si mu poliisi, si bantu ba bulijjo abeetambulira ebyabwe. So ekyaliwo teri akiwagira, naye kye twagala kwe kunoonya engeri gye tusobola okukola ki okusolovingamu ensonga eno. Ate yes, abantu bagamba DPC mumukwate mukole bwe muti, ate tumanyi gye tujja okuhandolingamu ensonga eyo, naye nga tetufunye ebiragiro okuva mu bantu bantu kinoomu kutubulira diro tulina okukwata ono, diro tulina okukola kino. Tumanye ekyokukola era tujja kikola mu budde bwaffe. Mwebale nnyo. Speak loud. Can I first answer that? You'll ask, there's enough time. One is that's why we carry out investigations. Now, I gave you preliminary observations we made, but usually, like for such a fire, we shall first come out with our report, and then the report shall give us guidance on the next course of action. Abadde abuuza ku muliro gwa Sunrise nti waliyo emisango egimu egya crime gye mwalabye gye musobola gye mugenda okuggulawo, nti ne muddamu nti awo mba nkedde nnyo, tulindemuuko tumalirize okubuuliriza kwonna. Bino bye mbawadde mu luzungu tubiyita preliminary observations, ebintu ebimu bye twakalabako, naye ekintu ekikwatagana n'omusango ate mmwe mwennyini mwabatera okutugamba musooke mubuulirize, naye kati oyinza okuva wano ate otandikidde mu kukwata. Leka tusooke tubuulirize then tutandikire awo. Ekirala ekya Top TV nakyo sinaba kufuna briefing okuva kuba handling ensonga eyo. I have not yet got updates about the journalist who was injured during the coverage at Kavule, when we had those skirmishes between security and the NOP supporters. Thank you. One last. Oh, that's all. I think that's all. We are done. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving us this audience. And officers also, thank you for accompanying me to our presser. Yeah. Look, open. Open. Oh. So, you can now... Hey. Cut.